Welcome to Learning Unit 3, The Role and Functions of the Media in Society, Chapter 4. Please turn to page 185. Our outcomes today is Learning Outcome 1.1 and 1.2, which is going to look at how the media functions in terms of firstly functionalism, also label rights model functions, explain McQuell's functions of the media, and look at the political functions of the media in the case of pluralism. We'll then move on to normative theory, and lastly the entertainment function, rhetorical, behavioral, and sociological perspectives, which relate to your task 2 work. Let's begin. The first section looks at news and information and opens with this sort of quote that I've picked up. A wise man once said, "The public eye never blinks." In terms of this section, the media are often blamed of how they portray certain figures, such as politicians, celebrities, and organizations, who feel they might be manipulated or misinterpreted in the media, and they're quite critical of the media, and they felt criticized themselves. In this section, we're going to look at how the media functions and its role in society. The first thing we're going to look at is a sociological perspective of Emile Durkheim and Parsons that looks at functionalism. And this is looking at how each part of a society needs to work together, become harmonious and cohesive as a whole to maintain social order and unity. Below are some examples of parts of society such as the state, privately owned corporations, NGO companies, the military and economic structures, and cultural institutions like libraries. The media also contributes towards integration, harmony, and cohesion in terms of that their role is to inform, entertain, and educate. So let's just say, for example, that Uber decided that they'd want to approach advertisers and they want to inform them about their new company. They'd also show an entertaining ad, and they need to educate them about the responsible policies they have in place. The next section we look at is different sort of theoretical models of Lazarsfeld, Lasswell, and Merton. Merton distinguishes between latent and manifest functions, but we're focusing on Charles Wright in terms of studying how the media could possibly function. Here we have it broken down in terms of Wright's model of functions. He's deciding, or not really deciding, but talking about in the model of functions, what are the manifest, latent, and functions and dysfunctions of the media? Meaning, what is the deliberate, beneficial, conscious, the unconscious, unintended beneficial, or the unconscious, unintended harmful of the media content, which can be news or cultural content, information, or entertainment that can contribute towards society, individuals, or groups of people. The objections to functionalism is that Merton later manifest functions that the media does not function the same for individual or groups, that we do have individual variation. Next, that it fails to account for social change and transformation. And lastly, it neglects to provide feedback, and feedback modifies the message and context. Okay, let's move on to the next section, which is McQuell's typology of functions, which I like to call the Mickey of functions. It stands for mobilization, entertainment, correlation, continuity, and information. McQuell is saying that the media can have this role, that it can create campaigns for social objectives, such as for religion, war, or politics. The media can also perform an entertainment function, that it can provide amusement, relaxation, or diversion from stress. It can also reduce social tension. In terms of correlation, the media can provide an understanding of events and show sort of diverse opinion about news, information out there, or events. The media can also portray and express dominant or co-cultural groups. The media can also support and provide information out there about news and events that's going on around the world or within your own nation. And then we end off with the political functions of the media in the case of pluralism. In terms of the political functions, the media have the responsibility to perform these functions to inform the public, to guide them about public opinion, to express different views about political developments, and to criticize about political developments and decisions. To define the different plurality concepts, we could look at social plurality, which is looking at the political, social, economical, and cultural differences that can be in a society. So the media to take into account the social plurality. Media pluralism looks at and acknowledges social plurality, but also needs to look at the diversity of media content and the existence that can cater to different groups in the society. Internal plurality is looking at the differences between information entertainment content in terms of newspapers and radio stations, except that there should also be a balance of opinion and information and entertainment. External plurality looks at the differences between those newspaper, radio, and TV stations. There are three levels of plurality, which is micro, meso, and macro. Micro is the own medium or internal sort of component here, such as the variety of perspectives and voices within a single outlet, such as all the diverse opinions in The Citizen. Meso is looking at all the variety of choices within that same category in terms of the differences in choices between The Citizen, The Star, and The Mail and Guardian. Macro plurality is looking at the variety of choices between reading newspapers, whether they be daily, weekly in English and Afrikaans or Zulu, and so on. The next section moves on to normative theory, and we're going to learn a bit more about this in the next video.